Get in the game with the college-branded Venmo debit card. Wreck your team with every tap and earn up to 5% cash back with Venmo Stash, a new rewards program from Venmo. No monthly fee, no minimum balance. Just school pride and spending power. Get in the game and sign up for the Venmo debit card at venmo.com/collegecard. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. Select schools available. Venmo Stash terms and exclusions apply at venmo.me/stash terms. Max $100 cash back per month.
Adobe Acrobat, your new foundation. Use PDF spaces to generate a presentation. Grab your docs, your permits, your moves. AI levels up your pitch, gets it in a groove. Choose a template with your timeless cool. Come on now, let's flex those tools. Draft, design, deliver, make it sing. AI builds the deck so you can build that thing. Do that, do that, do that with Acrobat.
Learn more at adobe.com/do-that-with-acrobat.
Life is full of choices, but the choice between getting crispy chicken nuggets or a Crunchwrap Slider isn't one you'll have to make. The new Crispy Chicken Crunchwrap Slider at Taco Bell. All white meat chicken nuggets, breaded in tortilla chips, wrapped up, sauce and all, inside a slider-sized Crunchwrap. Choose from creamy chipotle or jalapeno honey mustard. Well, there we go. Life, still full of choices. The new Crispy Chicken Crunchwrap Slider. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time and while supplies last.
You can support this podcast at patreon.com/partnersincrimemedia.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, and this is Crime Writers On. Crime Writers On is the original true crime review podcast that digs into true crime, pop culture, other podcasts. And on this episode, 2 secretaries at the U.S. Embassy in the Soviet Union become unlikely spies as they try to learn why their CIA husbands died. We'll talk about the Cold War thriller Ponies on Peacock. Joining me to get that done and more is true crime author, TV journalist, and host of These Are Their Stories podcast, my husband, and the love of my life every single day, Kevin Flynn. Hello, Kevin.
Hello, Rebecca.
Also with us is private investigator, certified pet detective, resident cat lady, author of the Piper Green series of cozy mysteries, and legit one of my favorite people in the world, Laura Bricker. Hi, Laura.
Oh, thank you, Rebecca.
It's
How
true.
are you?
I'm great because I'm with you.
Oh, thank you.
And finally, all the way from Valencia, Spain, author of a city trilogy, host of Rip Current, more like Ancient Aliens, and the podcast soon to be a major motion picture, the world's most interesting man, Toby Ball. Hi, Toby.
Hey, Rebecca.
No comment on the fact that I just called you the world's most interesting man? Hello?
You made it sound like the motion picture is called The World's Most Interesting Man. You would say Strange Arrivals.
Strange Arrivals.
The classic
Arrivals.
podcast.
It is the world's most interesting man, Toby Ball. I'll do it again. Hello, Toby.
Hello, Rebecca.
You can respond now, Toby. There you go.
Yeah. Thanks for the kind words.
All right. So, Kevin?
Yeah.
This is Thursday's program.
Mm-hmm.
What is coming up next week on this lovely show that we call Crime Writers On?
Yeah, so next week we're going to be talking about the podcast The Brothers Ortiz. That's going to be on Monday's show. And then on Thursday, we've got a classic rewind. We're going to be talking about our review from 2018 of Season 2 of Ozark.
Why are we going to have a classic rewind?
Why are we going to have a classic? Well, because you and I are going to be stepping away for a couple of days.
That's right.
And so we can't leave nothing in the feed.
No.
So we're going back to an interesting, because Jason Bateman, he's
having a moment.
He's having a moment again, another moment. And so we're going to look at Season 2 of Ozark.
Okay, Kevin, I'm really looking forward to talking about the show that we're talking about in this episode. Can we just get right to it?
Let's jump right in.
All right, leading off.
You can tell them that 2 embassy employees on diplomatic business were flying a small single-engine Soviet-made aircraft. And after encountering engine failure, the plane crashed.
You're giving us the cover story? What happened?
In 1977's Moscow, Americans Bea, Grant, and Twila Hasbeck learn their husbands have died during a secret mission in Soviet Russia. Determined to learn why, they convinced the CIA station chief to let them return to the U.S. Embassy to complete their husband's covert operation and uncover why it went wrong.
No one would ever suspect us of anything. I mean, we're women. People only look at us if they want to fuck us or marry us, and that's it. So nobody would ever think that 2 people like us would be spies.
Bea and Twila find themselves helping a young Russian leak secret Soviet technology. But they're drawn in deeper when Bea catches the eye of a ruthless KGB officer who's been gathering kompromat. Now they must complete their dangerous mission before the Russians figure out that American women can also work as spies.
The KGB is always following me. To them, I'm a POI, a person of interest. But you two are PONIs.
Ponies.
Persons of no interest.
Exactly. You're not on their radar. Yet.
In Peacock's breezy buddy spy thriller Ponies, Emilia, Clarke, and Haley Lou Richardson star as CIA widows who become operatives and find themselves in a high-stakes game of international espionage. The unlikely pair try to balance romance, friendship, double crosses, and a Cold War conspiracy in which the role of women is greatly underestimated. Spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about plot points from Ponies. So if you want to remain spoiler-free, go to the estimated time code in our show notes for our thumbs up or thumbs down reviews. And I will say this is kind of a twisty and turny show, so there might be some actual plot points that if you want to watch the show, you might want to wait until you...
I thought that disclaimer pretty much covered that.
I know, but I really want to make people know that we're going to spoil the show.
Yeah,
right?
Sure, yep.
We're totally going to fucking spoil the show. So Laura, what kind of show is this? It's a period show. It's got some Alias spy aspects, a little bit of the Americans, a little Susan of the Americans in there. It's a story about feminism. And it's also a story about friendship. So what do you think it is most of all?
I think where this show is the strongest for me, as I was watching it, is the story of female friendship, more so than a believable spy espionage kind of story. The connection between Twila and Bea, that really grows throughout the show from the beginning where you're not sure they're really going to get along to when they learn to rely upon each other to when they really become a team and they really become friends. Seeing the evolution of the Twila and Bea relationship when they start, having their little wine on the couch and kind of debriefing after things that happened. And when Twila, who is a lot more brash about everything that she does, she starts to actually come in situations and be the one to actually negotiate with people, but also come in and kind of save Bea's ass when she gets herself in stupid situations. So I think for me, it was really more of this female friendship kind of buddy rom-com kind of story with some fun costuming and set design and period elements to it. But the rest of it was sort of the secondary structure to that.
Yeah. I really liked Twila's character. I think her character got better as the show went along, but I liked her from the jump because she meets Bea on the street and she's like, "You mean the CIA?" And I so felt that, man. That's me. I'm always saying the thing out loud that's supposed to be quiet. Kevin can tell you.
Yeah.
What are you always saying to me, Kevin?
Nice job, Mata Hari.
So, I sort of relate to the why is this a fucking secret kind of situation that she has. But Toby, do you think that the performance in this are strong? Because I've seen some mixed reviews among us. I really enjoyed most of the performances in this, but you seem to have a different opinion.
Well, I think it starts very weak. So this is my issue, is that the characters start off being drawn as these sort of opposites, right? And they lean really, really hard into this and making them sort of types. And this includes, clearly they were told, walk like your character's personality. So you have them both with these very exaggerated walks where one of them's sort of demure and a little bit cautious, and the other one's kind of tromping around. And so they have these very strong separate personalities at the very beginning, and I felt like the acting was pretty bad in these, and I don't really blame them. I think they were told to do it. And then as the show goes on, these strong personalities completely dissolve, and they both become sort of more defined by their role in the plot, by their relationship with other characters and stuff. But it felt as though they really toned down the characters that you see at the beginning.
The quirk, right?
Yeah. So that to me just felt like bad screenwriting, right? Because the characters just aren't consistent. You exaggerated at the beginning to give you a sense of, oh, she's the brash, talkative one from a bad background. And this other one's kind of the really smart one who's got to deal with her husband that she's going to take over, but she doesn't know what to do because she's so smart, but she has to be a secretary.
Oh, no. My God. Lady, what are you doing?
Wait, what? You speak English?
No. Do you?
What?
You should put your money away. Yeah. Everyone in this market's a fucking con artist if you give them the chance. Don't you just love how none of these people understand English till you start insulting them, then they're all suddenly fluent.
And then by episode 3, that stuff is basically gone. The brash one and the shy one are both acting essentially the same way around each other. It was frustrating that I liked it better when they didn't have very strong personalities, because I found their strong personalities rang really false. So anyway, that's problem number one that I had with the show. More to come.
I knew you were going to have problems with the show. As soon as I was watching it, I was like, I can't.
It's too bad. Wait, Toby's no fun.
Toby's no fun.
No fun.
I like fun. I just, just because it's fun doesn't mean it can suck. It has to be good fun.
Toby, you saying you like fun is not the same as you actually liking fun.
But I do. I love fun.
He says he likes fun with a period at the end of the sentence, not an exclamation point. But Toby, the things that you described sound to me like something, an artifact of a pilot.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like they didn't go out and shoot 8 episodes, that they shoot 1 episode and they shop it around. And then when somebody picks it up, everybody comes back, they put on the same wigs, and then they do episode 2. And it seemed like, for me, I was also kind of worried that Twila was going to be way too over the top as sort of the hot mess comic relief. The bull in the china shop here. But I believe that she got better as she went along. I don't know if her personality and character overlaps with Bea so much, but I certainly felt like they gave her more depth when you sort of bring into her troubled background. I mean, we see in the first episode that Bea comes from money in an Ivy League school, and that she's, Twila is literally looking for her mom at the last trailer park that she knew that she was at. It really splits them up. But I thought that they got more interesting, the characters, as we went along.
And you're an Emilia Clarke fan, right?
Oh my God. Yes, from Game of Thrones, my Khaleesi. I mean, I think she's great, right? She's very believable. Great job with the Russian. I don't know if she actually speaks Russian or she had to do that to prepare that.
Sounded good to us. We don't know.
Yeah, it was a pretty good feat. She's the emotional center of the story.
We thought about this. I need an L pill.
I don't know what that is.
A lethal pill, a cyanide pill.
I don't understand. Why do you want a cyanide pill?
So I could bite down on it if they come for me.
I'm not going to give you a pill so you can kill yourself. I don't want you to die.
I did think about how much peen was in this.
Oh.
And
you did?
I did. I was like, whoa, a lot of peen, because, those Russian baths, and you're like, we could just all walk right in. It's probably make good for all the nudity that Emilia Clarke had to provide for Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Andre, he got to cop a feel, but that was sort of the extent of it.
Yes.
For me, it was
They
sad.
did it, Kevin. They
did it. Yes, they did it. But,
Yeah.
while still wearing a top. It's not the same.
So one of the things I love about the show is I like the world that they built. Now, I don't think it's necessarily representative of Moscow in the 70s. I don't know, because I wasn't in Moscow in the 70s. I remember being told about Moscow in the 70s, a lot of American fucking propaganda when I was growing up, how it's like, if you're Russian, you're standing on a line right now for your one slice of bread. That's the kind of thing that we were told a lot when we were growing up. And this Moscow seems a little more actually has color. Not everything is gray. I think that we've seen it in other shows. And I enjoyed that. And I did enjoy the set designs. I enjoyed the art direction of this very much. It wasn't as good as the Americans. It wasn't subtle, but it was fun, and it wasn't fake looking. It was over the top, but it looked like authentic stuff, unlike that show we watched, The Perfect Sister or The Wetter Sister, whatever it was, where they went to the house at the thing. Anyway, so I liked that. What I had questions about is if other people would buy this really ridiculous premise, Laura, of 2 regular ladies who are the wives of spies suddenly being charged to be spies. I mean, it's a ridiculous premise. But I think you have to just be like, that's fucking ridiculous, and go with it. That's my feeling about it.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of times in the show where I was like, okay, we are just suspending disbelief here because this is all fantastical. Oh yeah, they're going to just take these 2 women and now they're going to be spies, and they're not even putting them through actual training. They're just taking them in the secret room, and they're like, okay, well, first you're going to go deliver a book at this place, and you're going to serve as the lookout, and now you're going to burn the bar down by accident.
Is she the least subtle lookout you've ever seen, with her hands up against the windows, looking in the...
Yeah.
She hasn't thought through what she does if she actually sees something.
Exactly. She just bangs on the window.
Yeah. And the fact that they would just be like, oh yeah, you 2, just go take care of this on your own. Have at it, because the KGB is following us. Can't you see their car that didn't go through the right car wash because their car wash is broken? Okay. So once I kind of was like, okay, this is something I'm just watching for entertainment. I like the costuming. I like kind of the scene. So I think it's just, you sort of have to go into this saying okay, this is not realistic. This is just something kind of silly that we're watching. And hey, look, they're having sex. Oh, hey, look, the KGB's there.
She did some devil's lettuce and had sex with the sexy but mean KGB agent.
The sexy but mean. Oh, hey, look, they're hiding things in shampoo bottles. ooh, clever.
Gee, your hair smells terrific. Toby, I think, had a harder time maybe suspending his disbelief and like letting himself go with the flow here. Toby, what were your issues with the show?
No, I'm happy to suspend my disbelief, but just like try a little bit. Like this whole like, there's no way the Russians would expect a female spy operative. It's like, yeah, dude, how about like Mata Hari? Like it's just dumb. Like part of it, and it's kind of the show's fault. It's kind of not. Is that Slow Horses is in this basically exact space and is so much better than this is. And I would normally be like, well, just give it a pass. Everything doesn't have to live up to the best thing. Like this doesn't even get close to it. But then they call it Ponies. And you're like, well, why'd you call it Ponies? Like maybe it's the name of the book it came from, but it's a little close to Slow Horses.
No, they explain right in the beginning.
Persons of no interest.
Right.
Persons of interest, persons of no interest. That's a pony.
Right. But it's too close to Slow Horses.
Okay.
Quite honestly. You're doing too much equine shit for you not to compare the two.
Okay.
Are you saying like it's compared to the Americans, if there were a show called like the United Statesers, like that wouldn't be good?
Well, yeah, or it better be like a really strong show. So anyway, it frustrates me when writers, and this is a room full of writers, just don't spend any time trying to come up with something reasonably interesting or plausible, or just, even if it's not plausible, just come up with something that's just not stupid. And it just feels lazy to me and it drives me nuts. So that was kind of my feeling about this is like, if you want me to spend all this disbelief, which is fine because otherwise you just can't make a show like this, but just give me something clever rather than the first thing that springs to mind that you just put in there, try harder.
I have problems with shows, and this show did it a lot. This is one issue I had with this show, where problems are solved off screen. That should be like, it should be difficult for her to get back to her apartment at the embassy when she's just seen Andrei, knowing that they follow people around. It should be difficult. She's pretending to live somewhere else. That should be more of a high stakes situation. It becomes one. And why the hell did they put her secret Andrei phone in her closet when she lives at the embassy? Why don't they just put the phone next to her other phone? Like, why did it have to be like she discovers it randomly? It's like, it made no sense because everyone who's there knows what she's doing. Except for
it's for the drama, Rebecca.
For the drama, exactly. Not
it's
every
drama.
It's also red. It's like the secret squirrel phone.
Yeah,
just like her nightie, right? Red for communism.
Yes,
right.
Her bra. Yes, red for communism.
Exactly.
Yes.
Hey, speaking of capitalism, you can join us on Patreon.
That's right.
.com/partners in crime media, and in America, people Patreon call you. No.
Kevin, very funny.
That was stupid.
No one will know that reference.
No,
but that's a leave it in.
Leave it in. Okay, yeah. At patreon.com/partners in crime media, you can support this podcast to keep us going by joining us at the leading off level. When you do that, you'll get exclusive content, including our Crime Writers on After Show, Toby Ball's Deep Dive Book Club podcast, Married with Podcast, and Something's Off. If you become a Bricker Scaler, you'll get an additional podcast. It's Laura Bricker's Leave It to Bricker podcast, in which Laura Bricker solves mysteries, or at least mysteries to her, in her quaint AF town of Exeter, New Hampshire. If you join us at the Let's Do What We Do level, you get episodes of Crime Writers on early and ad-free. And if you're a deep diver, well, you get to be official sponsors of Toby Ball's Deep Dive Book Club. The next book Toby will be covering is This House of Grief, The Story of a Murder Trial by Helen Gardner. Now, another way to support us is checking out our Amazon storefront, where you can see some of our favorite things. Rebecca, what are this week's Amazon recommendations?
All right. I am teaching myself to do my makeup really well because I'm having my hair done professionally for my son's wedding, but I don't have a makeup person yet, so I might have to do it myself. So I'm doing a lot of tips and teaching. Mm-hmm. I just bought this awesome tubular mascara by e.l.f. on Amazon. It's only $8, and it's the best mascara I've ever used. That's my Amazon purchase of the week.
All right. And Toby Ball, what are your listener-inspired Toby Ball's deep cut recommendations?
All right. We're starting off the Tizzy T hair ties, 18 count, vintage matte color, spiral hair ties, no crease, suitable for women and children with thick or thinning hair, but apparently not for dudes.
Nice.
Not long enough, yeah.
Yeah, all right. And then the second one we've got is turkey tail mushroom for dogs, 170 count. Mushroom chews for dogs, lipoma lumps and bumps, immune health, digestive, skin energy, joint vitamin supplement.
A vitamin sup. Wow, a turkey tail. No feathers.
I fucking don't know what that's all about, but give your dog mushrooms.
We have one listener who's, I think, doing a lot of shopping with our Amazon store. We keep picking his items over and over again. I love it.
If he's using those Tizzy T hair ties,
that would be amazing.
We've got a fucking scoop.
That's a podcast.
That's a whole podcast in and of itself.
Yeah.
Remember to
Yes.
shop us first at amazon.com/shop/crimeWritersOn. We earn commissions on qualified purchases.
Kevin,
Yes.
before we end this fine business section, can you tell me, do we have any Patreon patron saints of the week this week?
Our Patreon patron saints are Jill Busby and Aaron Elizabeth. Bless you.
Bless you, Jill. Bless you, Aaron. We love you so much, and we literally couldn't make the show without people like you supporting it. Kevin, does thus end our business section?
Thus ends the business section.
Let's fade that music out.
Prime one-day delivery's fast. How fast we talking? We're talking yoga mats and fitness trackers delivered so fast you can kick off your routine tomorrow fast. We're talking weights at your door without really waiting fast. Water bottles and hydration backpacks fast and fast. Resistance bands faster than you could say feel the burn fast. More jump ropes just a hop, skip, and a jump away, aka fast. Whew, that was actually a good workout fast. Fast one-day delivery for all things fitness. It's on Prime.
An all-new season of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.
Mom Talk has just been blowing up. Whitney and Jen are on Dancing with the Stars. Taylor is a bachelorette. Saying that out loud is crazy. Like, that is huge.
But all the cool opportunities could pull us apart.
It's causing issues in everyone's marriage. My whole world is falling apart right now. It's chaos.
Watch the Hulu original series, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
So, Kevin.
Yes.
Who's our next sponsor?
Yeah, this podcast is sponsored by Quince.
Oh, Quince.
Yeah, these days it's all about choosing quality over quantity, especially when it comes to a wardrobe. So if a piece isn't made well and versatile, well, is it truly worth having? And that's why so many people love Quince. Okay, now I know that the Quince people spend a lot of time working on this copy.
Yes.
And they came up with the thing about quality over quantity.
Yes.
But if you met Rebecca Lavoie, you would get both.
You would get both.
Quality and quantity, because she loves shopping at Quince so much.
I do love it so much.
Can you tell us a little bit about the last thing you purchased from Quince?
Well, Kevin, I have the Luxe Baby Cashmere Cable Knit Cardigan, which you have seen me wear. I have it in 2 colors, and you have seen me wear them, I don't know, like 50 times in the last month. I love wearing them. I don't even wear like a tank top underneath. It's so soft and so cute. Looks great on camera, looks great at work, looks great with jeans. I love these cardigans so much. They are a wardrobe staple, and I will wear them for years to come.
Yeah, you know the thing you're forgetting, though, is that Quince works directly with safe, ethical factories to cut out the middlemen, so you're not paying for a brand markup or those fancy retail stores. It's just quality clothing.
Yep. So right now, go to quince.com/crime for free shipping and 365-day returns. That's a full year to wear it and love it, and you will. Now available in Canada, too.
Bonjour, hi.
Don't keep settling for clothes that don't last. Go to quince.com/crime for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/crime. So, Kevin?
Yes.
Another issue I have with the show, even though I'm going to say I really enjoyed watching it, so I am going to say I liked it overall because I wanted to watch the next episode each time.
Yeah.
I did have an issue with the fact
the amount of peen?
The fact that you and I both figured out a couple of big plot twists very early in the show. One of them being, who's the mole?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what Peacock has done, and I'm trying to remember the other thing that we recently watched. Right?
All her fault.
Yeah, like sort of coming up on the season teaser, right at the end of episode 1, like to keep you going.
Don't watch that.
It gave away too much, at least for me, including the idea that there is a mole.
Right.
So now as we start episode 2, I'm thinking, all right, well, who's going to be the mole? And there's not a big cast of characters living at the embassy, so who would qualify as a mole doesn't...
It's pretty obvious, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking about the last Knives Out thing. I mean, when the cast of characters, the cast of suspects isn't very broad, then you got a decent chance of kind of picking somebody, or at least you think about, well, who are they actively pointing away from the most? And to that extent, like, well, who could the mole be? And I'm like, oh, it's probably Cheryl.
Yeah. I mean, the thing was found in her apartment, so it's probably her. That's what I thought.
Right, but I mean, just even like, when they're walking around the steno pool there, I'm like, well, who am I not going to suspect? Her. And part of the reason why wouldn't I expect her is because they've already told us, which is that these spies do not consider women to be security threats or to be spies or be anybody.
Right.
So the Russians are not going to rely on
Russians
Cheryl
are
to be a
feminists,
mole.
motherfucker.
No, they're not. They're not. They're going to. Why would a woman be doing this?
Why would a woman be doing this thing that a woman would be much better at doing?
I mean, she Bruce Willis it, right? It's like, oh, everybody else, you don't see yourself as a ghost, but everybody else does. So that's, so I kind of guessed that it was Cheryl. And I also will point out that I like the idea that they showed the dynamic between Ray and his wife by doing two things, explaining that she turned him down 3 times for a proposal and that she is much taller than him.
Right.
I don't think that's I think that's a deliberate casting choice to telegraph that. Yeah.
So one plot twist that I still think it's on the cutting room floor. I think the babysitter was sent in to watch Cheryl. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But they didn't include that. The other thing I guessed from the beginning, I was like, oh, her husband's not dead. No fucking way. I said that for episode 1. I'm like, I don't think he's dead. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that halfway through the show, Vera tells a story about what happened to them, and she's like, I just ran away. And you see even in her memory, that couldn't be possible, that she just ran away after they shot these 2 people. So, Toby, you were about to say something. You looked like you were dying to say something when we were talking about women being spies or not.
Oh, I was just going to say, she immediately, worms her way into meeting up with that businessman, which is a weird
can I come with you?
subplot that doesn't go anywhere, but it's like, why is she doing this?
So I want to talk about a couple of the characters. So we have Dane, who definitely does, by the way, have a counterpart in Slow Horses. And we have Andre, and they're sort of he's their top spy, and Dane is our top spy. What do you think of these 2 characters? Do they work for you? And do you think Andre is scary? That was the thing I really want to know.
Yeah, I think Andre was scary. And so that's why when he was paired up with Bea, who was one of those characters who gave me such anxiety because she just kept putting herself in stupid situations. And then when she's supposed to be cultivating him and getting in with him, she's going to get freaking killed. She's so stupid. Oh my God, I can't watch her. What is she doing? But I think his character was terrifying because you could see how quickly he could turn it on and off. And I think, they had that whole subplot with him where he was the one that was behind the murders of the sex workers. And you actually see one of those murders where the woman comes out and he kisses her and you're thinking, oh, okay. And then he just immediately kills her. And you're like, okay.
That's not good.
I'm like, Bea's going to get herself killed. What the hell is she thinking? But anyway, so that character was suitably terrifying. But then I think the character of Dane, who is kind of I'm just going to call him the handler of Bea and Twila, he was kind of a mixed bag for me because I felt like he was kind of funny. He had a funny delivery style and he had some writing that was kind of funny. And I was like, okay, so it doesn't necessarily match the tone of Andre. But then they go down this whole super serious, kind of sad line for him where he's basically gay and he's not out because, hello, this is the 70s. He's seeing traumatic stuff. So he's going off-site to where was it, Germany, to have shock
West
therapy
Germany.
or something?
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm like, this doesn't match with this character that they've written to be sort of a comical character in the way that he's delivering his lines. And then he's doing this. I think I struggled with sort of the shift in tone and the shift in the way that they're presenting some of these characters was not consistent across the board. And it could have been more powerful to have that more consistent thread and the characters would have felt more 3-dimensional. Whereas some of them just don't come across feeling that way. And, Andre is he's the good-looking bad guy. Of course, we want to hate him. Dane is kind of the, okay, yeah, sure, you 2 housewives can come work for us and be spies or whatever. But now I'm going to go get my shock therapy, which doesn't fit with the rest of the character up until that point.
Even though people did do that in the 70s quite a bit.
They did, but I felt like that came out of nowhere for me. Because that wasn't part of that character up until that point. And I'm like, why is he going here? And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I was wondering if he was doing gay conversion therapy on himself. That's kind of what
I was wondering too.
We don't quite know, but
But it didn't match.
Yeah.
Historically speaking, that would be kompromat against him, which is one of the reasons why
they had killed the therapist.
That Dane in real life would probably not advance up the echelon in the CIA unless he kept that a deep secret. Because that's sort of professionally existential. You see that that Andre,
Scary
Andre apparently has he's threatening him with kompromat. I've got video of our film of you with another man.
Now what the fuck is this?
Well, you're blackmailing me. I pay you to stop a tape from getting out that you claim will be very damaging to me. A tape you claim to have.
I do have it. Really? Because I heard chatter that you didn't. That the facility was compromised.
That's sort of one of the reasons why it would be very difficult for that person in real life to get where they are. And I feel like it was an opportunity that they could explore with that character. We go, okay, to electroshock therapy, but we have no idea why.
Yeah.
And if he's doing that as sort of like a self-gay conversion therapy, that's really interesting narratively because we wouldn't think about that. Again, we keep coming back to like, oh, this is 1977 and it's in Soviet Russia and the Cold War. Like there's things there that we could pull apart and look at and find a little more interesting. And that would have been an interesting character development thing for me.
I think in England, there were a lot of gay spies who people basically knew were gay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole like...
And it was illegal there too,
yeah,
right?
Anthony Burgess
cool.
and all those guys. That was...
Yeah.
I mean, my feeling about all this stuff, right, is that when you are being asked to suspend your disbelief, and it's as silly as the premise for this show is, which we've all sort of said that it's a silly premise. Like there was at no point where I thought either of those two protagonists were actually going to be killed or anything. Like they were put in dangerous situations, but it wasn't like, oh, maybe they'll be killed. Like that never crossed my mind. Then there's like, you're going to touch on these serious things in this sort of silly show. I don't know. There's so many of these sort of cliched spy movie scenes that they replay, but they don't seem like they're doing it like tongue in cheek or like winking at the audience. Like the meeting on a park bench, where they exchange like a little something, like that's going to fake out this KGB if you do it in public like that. There were several things like that. The scene where we're not sure if Bea's, Russian boyfriend, I can't remember his name.
I didn't buy their chemistry at all. They had zero chemistry.
And she's just like, you're going to come home and we're going to go to a bakery in Rhode Island and you're going to have cream puffs and all this stuff.
And you're going to get a fucking haircut.
And while he's like dying. And it's just like, I've seen this scene like countless times. And there's a whole bunch of those scenes.
Yeah, it's called Les Mis. That was where you saw it the first time.
It's like, well, if you're going to write those scenes, are you winking at the audience? Like, oh, you weren't expecting this, were you? Or... you just don't have that many ideas. So you're just like, all right, we'll just do that kind of scene. We'll do this kind of scene. Right. There's a lot of like infrastructure giving way that leads to important plot things. Like when that woman falls through the guardrail that's supposed to keep people on the bridge. And then at some point,
the Red Line Bridge in Moscow.
I think I was like making dinner while I was watching the one where Twila is like, I can't remember what she was doing, but she accidentally like knocks like some boards off of a wall. And then by that discovers this thing. I'm like, Shoddy Construction is doing a shitload of work in this show.
Yeah. Kevin, I have a final question for you.
Yeah.
Wouldn't the women, when Andre discovers who they are in that meet and greet at the Elton John concert,
that's right,
wouldn't they have been safer just staying in that room with all of those other Americans watching?
Well, what is the KGB agent going to do? Like shoot the wife of the diplomat in the middle of the Elton John concert? Like that's not. Yeah, running away was not the smart thing to do.
And like no one seemed to notice
like,
that they ran
my
away.
cover's blown.
Yeah.
Oh well. But yes, and then they run around like again, like how did they get backstage? Like, you just we're just going to run past these Russian guards and go see Elton and everybody in his band. By the way, that was sort of there were a couple of really interesting like actual historical
tie-ins,
things that worked. Like at the end, the fire at the embassy really did happen in 1977.
And KGB officers came in as firefighters.
Yes, and came in and stole stuff. And then the music library here, all the songs, 1977, right, very right in that era. But we'll say that Elton John did not go to Russia until 1979, and that he didn't go with his band. It was just him and his percussionist, and he was not allowed to stand up and play the piano. He just had to play the piano like it's Carnegie Hall. I digress. Yeah, Bea and Twila would have been just fine standing in line and being like, oh, you caught us. But what would be the drama in that?
Yes, you caught us. Hey, here's my boss. You want to say hi?
Yeah. Remember the boss was now in Belarus.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Things had to happen. So,
that's right.
So, yeah, I mean, like in any sort of dramatic series, thriller series, like people have to do things that are unexpected to drive the plot, because if everybody does exactly the right thing, then nothing's going to go wrong and there's no conflict. So, yeah, if she just stayed there and said, oh, well, then I guess the result would be
you got me.
I guess we can't go back to the whatever.
Guess I'm getting flown home to America later.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's go on the run. Yeah. And
that's shitty writing.
It's always like bullshit.
It's just shitty writing. You give them a reason why they have to do that. You don't just make it an irrational decision, is you think about it for half an hour and you come up for a reason why they can't stay. And I don't think it would be that hard, but that's just lazy, shitty writing. I'm sorry.
That's all right. You can. Yeah, I don't disagree with your comments at all. I just didn't dislike it as much as you. That's all. And that's fair, I think.
Pay around the corner and around the globe. Apple Pay is accepted at millions of places worldwide, wherever you see the contactless symbol in stores or the Apple Pay button online and in apps. Whether you're checking out on iPhone or Apple Watch, just double-click, pay, and be on your way. Add your debit or credit card to wallet, and you're good to go. Pay the Apple way. Terms apply.
Upgrade your bathroom routine with the Cottonelle Cleaning Duo. Their toilet paper and flushable wipes feature cleaning ripples designed to help you come clean. Using them together leaves you feeling cleaner and fresher than dry toilet paper alone. Cottonelle gives you that kind of clean that makes you want to come clean about everything else. Like admitting you've been rocking press-on nails since 2008. It's the clean that boosts your confidence and keeps you feeling fresh all day.
It's Charles Barkley here with Wayfair. And let me tell you, game day is serious business at my house. If I'm grilling, chilling, and watching hoops, my outdoor setup better be ready to play. That's where Wayfair wins. From patio seating and umbrellas to grills and grill accessories, Wayfair's got it all, and it shows up fast. I'm talking fast and easy delivery. So level up your grill game and your outdoor chill game, and head to wayfair.com to get your outdoor space ready for the season.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Why have I asked my electrician I found on Angie.com to bury my pet hamster? I was so moved by how carefully he buried my electrical wires, I knew I could trust him to bury my sweet nibbles after his untimely end.
This is very strange.
Angie, the one you trust to find the ones you trust. Find pros for all your home projects at Angie.com.
All right, let's do what we do. Let's let our listeners know, should they check out Ponies on Peacock? Laura Bricker, thumbs up or thumbs down for Ponies?
I'm going to go mild thumbs up on this. This was a fun watch if you are not taking it too seriously. I liked the costuming. I liked the set design. I liked Khaleesi being in this, even though she stressed me out by a lot of her actions in the show. I thought, okay, this is kind of fun. This is different. The reason I'm not full thumbs up is I think there were a lot of areas in this where the plot twists were just so far-fetched and some of the plot devices were just not really executed well. You know, I was like, okay, I'm just going to have to just go with this because this would never actually happen in real life. So some of that was a little bit much for me, but overall I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. Okay, I can get behind this. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I'm not like a full thumbs up on it. So mild thumbs up.
Toby Ball, thumbs up or thumbs down for Ponies?
Yeah, I like the look of this thing. I like this like 70s chic and all that stuff. That's the extent of the stuff I like about it. I thought it was just lazily written. Like, I don't have any problem suspending disbelief to have a show like this, but, you know, spend some time figuring out how to make it work. Like plot twists, make them make sense, make characters' actions make sense. Like, don't rely on faulty infrastructure to like reveal clues and stuff. I mean, it's just, to me, and sometimes maybe I think it's hard for me to divorce myself from like thinking about the writers when they're going through things and like, okay, well, this is good or this is fine. It's like, well, why don't you just think a little bit harder and find a way of making it a little more convincing or a little more clever or just whatever. And I just didn't feel like there was much of that there. I mean, I think the acting's fine. I found it very frustrating to watch. And so I'm a solid thumbs down. I think they needed a couple more drafts of this thing to get it to a point where it would have made sense even within the sort of disbelief suspending world that they had created.
Kevin Flynn.
I'm a mild thumbs up on this. I liked it. It was sort of fun and breezy and low stakes. The aesthetic of it was interesting, and I really ended up liking these two characters at the top. You know, the mystery itself, enough to keep us going for the extent of the whatever 8 episodes it is. You know, there is kind of a tease for maybe a second season. I don't know if there's enough story here for that, but I did like what they did with the setup. So kind of interesting story here. Again, fun buddy comedy, you know, wrapped in a espionage, Cold War espionage plot line. So, for what it is, it's an entertaining spy show without sort of the heaviness, the weight of the world resting on the backs of somebody trying to, I don't know, stop a nuclear war or assassinate a world leader or something like that. Just kind of fun. Mild thumbs up.
I'm a mild thumbs up as well. I actually agree with a lot of what you said, Toby. I think some of the writing is lazy. I think some of it's poor. I don't know how much fucking money they spent on the soundtrack for this show. Jesus. It's like that's what I call music soundtrack, this show. It's incredible.
That's what I called Cold War Russia.
Exactly. But my big criticism of this show is that I could imagine like what a different network might do with this or different production company. But the Peacock stuff has not been good. Peacock is cheesy as hell. And like, I feel like this show is Peacockified. I could imagine like at a different place when the Americans was pitched, like this is what it is. We're going to dig into history and we're going to make it really cool. And it's going to be really suspenseful. And moments it's going to be scary. And moments it's going to be light. I feel like at Peacock, they're like, let's make the Americans meets Laverne and Shirley. Go. Like, I feel like that's their thing. Like with the All Her Fault show where there were like little moments of promise and then it just was in the sucky package. You have these great actors in the sucky package. And that's kind of how I feel about this. But unlike All Her Fault, and the reason I'm getting this a mild thumbs up is that I did enjoy, this falls a little upwards on my scale of do I want to watch the next episode-ness, which when I want to hit play again, I have to not give this a thumbs down because there's enough about it where I'm like, let's watch another one, right? Mm-hmm. And that for me is also a scale. I don't know what to call that scale. I guess a watchability scale or listenability scale if it's a podcast. So I'm a mild thumbs up for Ponies. And if there's a second season, not going to lie, I'll probably watch it or at least start watching it. All right, that's going to do it for us. But before we go, Laura Bricker, do we have a cat of the week this week?
Our cat of the week this week, and I'm hoping that you and Kevin can speak to this because I do not know this animal that I'm sure you know. Our very handsome line producer, Livy's dog Grover, passed away this week.
Yeah.
So tell me about Grover.
Grover was a king.
He was a short king.
Yeah. What was the
He
breed?
was a cockapoo.
Yeah.
They got him in between us getting our two dogs, our dog Bridie, who has been dead for a long time, and our current dog Stuart. He's a year older about than Stuart. And he was hands down the best dog I have ever known in terms of like dogness. Like he was always the kind of dog we could just open the door and let him run around in the yard and he wouldn't run away except when there were fireworks. He was easy to train, beautiful, loved walks, loved high. He was my dog's best friend.
It's the only dog I've known that will like go and retrieve the ball
a million times
and like bring it back to
and
you.
And
and
isn't
watch
a golden retriever?
Yes.
Yeah.
Throw it into the high grass and he'll look around for it. And then it was like his eyesight was gone. You had to like make sure you threw it like right by his nose so that he could track it. And I will also say that Grover defied death many times.
Yes,
including the time where he decided at the lake house that he was going to jump into the lake and follow the boat.
That's right,
the speedboat that had left
on Lake Winnipesaukee.
And if they hadn't quickly turned around to rescue him, that might have been it. And then there was the time where he ran away and they thought that he had jumped into the lake
and drowned.
And drowned when they were gone. He just said he ran off and some neighbor took him. And you know how he got back? The neighbor said, "Take me to where you live." And the dog Grover just pulled him back to
and that their house is not easy to find. Their house is after like a 1/4 mile long path through the woods. It's fucking impossible. You would never know it was there in a million years. And Grover pulled the lady back.
Anyway, Grover was great.
Short king, one of my favorite dogs of all time.
Yep.
I miss him a lot.
Yeah, it was. He lived a good life right up until the.
And he looked like a sheep.
He looked like a sheep.
And we saw him a couple days before he died, which I'm so happy about.
So we send our condolences to Livy and her family, and Grover was great. So thanks, Laura, for picking Grover to be our cat of the week.
All right, Laura Bricker, if folks want to reach out to you on any social media platform to say hi and submit their animals or someone else's animals or any kind of animal to be cat of the week, how can they find you there?
You can find me at Laura Bricker on Blue Sky and Instagram.
What about you, Toby? How can you be found online?
At TobyBallNH on Blue Sky, at TobyBall603 on Instagram.
And listen to Ancient Aliens, right?
Yeah, I think the last episode is dropping.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Ancient Aliens is, there's one more episode. It's a really good episode, so check it out. And then you can listen to the back catalog.
Nice. All right, Kevin Flynn, where can you be found?
I'm at Kevin P. Flynn, and P stands for peen in Russian bathhouses.
It does. You actually did that in Europe. You went into the naked part of the bathhouse.
The whole bathhouse, the sauna, that's all naked. It's like a locker room.
You went to the naked part where people are naked. I did not go.
Have you ever been in a sauna?
Yes.
Do you wear like a bathing suit in the sauna?
depends. All right. If you want to
gross.
follow me everywhere, you can find me at Reb Lavoie. You can find our podcast on Facebook in our Facebook group. It is awesome, and you can sign up for our free newsletter at crimewriterson.com. Get everything we make at patreon.com/partnersincrimemedia. Our theme song was composed and performed by Ty Gibbons, and our line editor is the wonderful, truly wonderful Livy Burdett. The EP of this show is Kevin. This show was recorded in the Caitlin Rogers Project Studio, also known as Studio C, the closet in our New Hampshire basement, where we also are careful about what we say because it might be picked up by microphones.
Always are.
On behalf of all the crime writers, thanks so much for listening. We'll catch you later. Yeah, one of the things I always thought about was like, 'cause, politicians too used to not be able to come out because then spies would have.
Yeah.
And I was always like, what if everybody just, this is my young, naive, 10-year-old thinking back in 1983. What if everybody just came out? Then it wouldn't be a secret. Then there would be nothing to hold over their heads. Right?
Yeah. Oh, well, you're so advanced. Yeah.
Partners in Crime Media.
Why have I asked my electrician I found on Angie.com to bury my pet hamster? I was so moved by how carefully he buried my electrical wires, I knew I could trust him to bury my sweet nibbles after his untimely end.
This is very strange.
Angie, the one you trust to find the ones you trust. Find pros for all your home projects at Angie.com.
Tired of the same old game night? Switch things up with Chumba Casino. Play over 200 free online social casino games. From classic slots and blackjack to exclusive in-house favorites you won't find anywhere else. However long you got, you can play your way. Anytime, anywhere. Make your next chill night a little more fun with Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions for details. 21+.